Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. In scumbag news of today, I've been telling you that I had spent some time with the Central Park Five guys. This is way before the hit Netflix series When They See Us came out. When I met with them, they actually just came from the IFC Film Festival in New York, and they had a documentary on them called Central Park 5. Great documentary. You can see it right now on Amazon Prime, or you can go to one of those bootleg apps and look it up there and watch it from there, like I used to do. But it's a riveting story about young black men brought into police department just because they fit a description, and without notification of their parents, or parents having the opportunity to be by their side to kind of protect them and give them legal defense and make decisions for them, they hauled these bunch of boys in. They just to calm the quells of the city down, and just to save a bottom line dollar, because this is one of the biggest wealthy cities in the world, and the money generated, especially in the area of Central Park, is huge. And to taint it will cost the city a lot of money. So how these police officers and prosecutors worked overtime to pin this crime on these boys without really knowing that they had evidence that these boys were not there. They coerced them to come up with some kind of story, cockamamie story, to convict themselves. That's why I say you should always have legal representation. Do not say anything at all. I mean, if you just got to stay in for a few days or whatever, stay in for a few days. They can't hold you for over 72 hours. I wouldn't have said nothing. I wouldn't have confessed to nothing. Put me in my cell, give me 72 hours, okay, before I see the court. But these boys were scared. They were young. They'd never been in this position before, and you got to watch the story. Anyway, good news. Central Park 5 prosecutor resigns after Netflix When They See Us cause backlash. So when the movie was revealed that she did whatever she could to get a conviction and a notch on her belt, you got to understand, this lady became a best-selling author as a result of this. She used this as a catalyst to catapult her career. All right, this is from Cosmopolitan magazine. It says former Central Park 5 prosecutor, in other words, a Kamala Harris type, Linda Fairstein, has resigned from numerous boards. She was on all these boards. Now, when you sit on a board, they pay you to be on these boards, and you only have to show up maybe once a month or once every 90 days to these board meetings, but you get a check just for sitting on these boards. In the wake of criticism following the release of Ava DuVernay's Netflix hit series, When They See Us, based on the 5 teenagers of color who were wrongly convicted of rape. The powerful 4-part miniseries, which follows the shocking story of Antron McCray, Kevin Richardson, Yusef Salaam, Raymond Santana, and Corey Wise, who spent a decade in prison for a crime they did not commit, has inflamed new controversies over Fairstein's role in the case. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Fairstein, who is now a novelist, you know something? Every last dime she made from those books, them boys should be able to sue her for that money. Sure, they got a settlement. They should have been able to sue Trump for running his mouth, smearing him, and they should have been able to sue her for building a career off these boys' trauma. Fairstein, who's now a novelist, resigned from the boards of the nonprofit Safe Horizon and Vassar College. She also has reportedly stepped down from the boards of God's Love We Deliver and the Joyful Heart Foundation. I'm told that Ms. Fairstein felt that given the recent widespread debate over her role in the Central Park case, she believed that her continuing as a board member would be harmful to Vassar College student Elizabeth H. Bradley stated in an announcement. She should be shamed. She shouldn't be on any board. She should be sued. She knew exactly what she was doing. We need to get some suspects, and we can get them. If we can get them to confess to this crime, then our work is done. We don't have to continue to sit here and look for this fool that's going around killing and raping women, beating them up, robbing them. We ain't got to do that. Let's just let that slide. Felicity Huffman plays Fairstein in the series. At the time, Fairstein ran the sex crime unit of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. In 1989, Fairstein was the prosecutor who oversaw the wrongful conviction and imprisonment of the five then teenagers following the rape attack of a white woman named Trisha Mealy in Central Park. The men was exonerated in 2002 and reached a settlement with the city for New York for 2014. Now imagine this, 1889. Things was hard. Corruption in New York was off the charts during that time. Drugs was everywhere. Remember I told you about that 1-2 combination punch on Joe Biden? Being the chief provocateur of the drug war? Knowing that these drugs was coming into the black community, either through heroin or through crack, because they couldn't afford cocaine. Knowing that officers were on the take, prosecutors were on the take, judges was on the take. At least that was what I was told to me. So it would be easy to get a bunch of young black kids in a position where if we put the fear of God in them and let them know that if they can rat their boys out, they can go home, we can do that. Or if we can really get a confession, or if we can get them to blame it on each other and have them believe they can go home. These kids were willing to believe it. Who am I? I'm just a young black kid. They believed it. They believe by running their mouth, they'll be able to go home. When wealthy people, they will not say anything until they see an attorney. And these boys are so scared that they didn't even know they was waiving their rights. Fairstein was a prosecutor who oversaw the wrongful conviction and imprisonment of the five then teenager following the rape and attack of a white woman named Trisha Mealy in Central Park. The man was exonerated in 2002 and reached a settlement with the city of New York in 2014. Imagine 1989 to being exonerated in 2002. 13 years later. You had to have this over your head. Couldn't even get a job. Life was hard for you. They reached a settlement 12 years later, after they were exonerated. In the series, Fairstein maintained the five boys' guilt, despite none of the DNA collected at the crime scene linking them to the crime, and also the timeline was automatically wrong. Matias Ray, who was serving a life sentence for the murder and rape of Lourdes Gonzalez, he confessed to the crime in 2002 with that one. He was able to relay facts 13 years after the attack was committed, and his DNA subsequently confirmed his guilt. But Fairstein continued to maintain their guilt, even suggesting that the boys had colluded with Reyes in the rape. How in the world did you figure that? Following the release of When They See Us on Netflix, I'm telling you guys got to go see that. Last week, the hashtag Cancel Linda Fairstein began trending on Twitter, and some viewers demanding that the publishers stop releasing Fairstein books and booksellers to cease selling them. The publisher stopped releasing her books and booksellers stop ceasing to selling them. That's fine. And she should be sued for the profit of those books. If she built her career off these boys who were innocent, who were dragged through hell in a highway, she need to be stripped of it all. This woman, somebody tweeted and said this woman clearly had no remorse whatsoever in this part of the film. When they see us, clearly defines her as having an agenda. There's absolutely no excuse for her behavior. I can now understand why people want to cancel Linda Fairstein. Just Bree said, make a public apology, Linda Fairstein. You should go to jail for obstruction of justice. You took the freedom of 5 innocent boys and destroyed their lives and family. Now, I agree with this. She needed to do a public apology. She would need to admit that she was wrong. And if she need to be sued for fabricating evidence to convict these boys and every last one of them officers, I am in agreement with Corey. And I am in agreement with a couple of those boys. They need to get justice need to serve them. They violated the laws. And they did it knowing they can do it because they felt they were above the law. Danielle Marie said, not giving any more money to Amazon as long as they're still selling this woman books. Now, I don't blame her. I'm going to cancel mine too if I find out her book is being sold. So let me go here and see if there's any books from her being sold on Amazon, then I'm going to cancel. The Central Park Five paid for a crime they didn't commit. Why should Linda Fairstein shouldn't pay for her crime? She financially benefit from false incarceration of children. Is she a Central Park Five prosecutor? Linda Fairstein tried to negotiate her interview with Ava DuVernay for the Netflix series. In other words, she wanted this lady to pay her money just to get her take on this. In letters obtained by the New York Post to Safe Horizon, Fairstein said, I do not want to become a lightning rod to the inflicted damage on this organization because of those now attacking my record of fighting for social justice for more than 45 years. Really? Really, lady? She added that the series depicts me in a fictionalized version of events in grossly maliciously inaccurate manner. The Varneys, when they see us, also aims to restore humanity and dignity to the now men who were convicted almost 3 decades ago and dismantle the pejorative collective of the Central Park Five that they became known as. Of course, she's supposed to do that. So anyways, this lady right here, and let me see if they're selling any of her books. All right, let's see if they're still selling the books. Yeah, they got Blood Oath, Final Jeopardy, Deadfall, Likely to Die, Death Sentence, Killer Look, Devil's House, box set of her books. Yeah, they need to abandon her books. Or, I would say this. Maybe that was part of her, because she showed fabricated these stories just like she write these books. You know what I would suggest? I would literally suggest that they don't take her books off the shelf. I suggest she come in and admit that she did wrong and she have to pay for her crimes. But I would suggest all proceeds to her books from this day forward go to the families of the Central Park Five boys. She put a lot of efforts in those books, and a lot of those books have nothing to do with those boys. Clearly, she is a good novelist. but she's a bona fide crook and a liar and a fabricator, and she broke laws, and even criminals can write good books. She's a criminal. She need to be prosecuted. She need to pay for her crimes along with all the officers that were involved in that situation. Trying to get a quick win. If she wants to get paid from her books, they need to sue her for every dime of her novels from this day forward should go to pay in their pocket. All that energy and all that effort that she put in to write those books, the end result should go in their pocket. It's just like, because it's nowhere her missing that, her putting all that time in writing those books and not getting compensated for it, should be every bit, if not worse, than all the time these boys had to go to jail and they spend in jail and they still paying for it. Well, man, Corey says still bother him. Still bother him. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue to read. Director A.V. DuVernay recently revealed that Linda Fairstein, the lead prosecutor in the Central Park 5 case, tried to negotiate her inclusion on the critically acclaimed Netflix series, which centers on the case When They See Us. Fairstein, who's played by Felicity Huffman, held the 6th crime unit in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office from 1976 to 2002. In the series, Fairstein portrayed as having a key role in trying to solve Trish Mellie's case in which she was raped and assaulted in New York City, Central Park. 5 black boys were eventually falsely accused and convicted of brutally raping her. After losing their innocence and spending 6 to 13 years in prison, a serial rapist confessed to the crime, freeing the young men and exonerating them. Many views Fairstein has been instrumental in obtaining the boys' court statement of guilt. But when DuVernay reached out to interview her during the scripted process for the series, Fairstein pushed back. She actually tried to negotiate. DuVernay told the Daily Beast in a new interview, "I don't know if I've told anyone this, but she tried to negotiate conditions for her to speak with me, including approvals over the script and some other things. So you know what my answer was to that? We didn't talk," she said.
Why are you doing us like this?
What other way they ever do us?
I don't remember the trial. I remember hearing about the crime itself. That got a lot of coverage out where I was. I'm from the West Coast, so I grew up in Compton. So the details of the trial didn't quite reach me in that way, but I do remember hearing about this case of wilding boys and really wondering, God, what is wilding? I mean, I'm a young, hip teenager on the West Coast, so I call a cousin in New York and I ask, what's wilding? And he says, we don't know what it is. We think they mean wilding out, which, as we know, means something completely different than being a wolf pack and a band of rapists. And so the fact that that word had become this manufactured term to represent criminality and animals and criminals really affected me as a young person, because I knew that it wasn't true, and yet I saw it on the news. So it really kind of shattered my all-in belief in news. I knew that we have to watch it and interrogate it for ourselves and ask the second question.
All right, so many view Fairstein as having been instrumental in taking the boys' court statement of guilt. All right, so this is them on the red carpet. This brother right here, like, I hate them son of a guns, man. I wish they get I wish they get every ounce of pay for payback that they get. I wish the wrath of God come on. I'm paraphrasing them. This gentleman, Youssef, he went on to do some great things. He started a great organization. This brother started a clothing line. And this brother right here, he moved with his family. And my man right here, Corey's still in New York. He's New York all day. He loved New York. He's not leaving. have problems and issues with going in the park sometimes because of that day traumatized him. And he was the brunt of the story. He ended up staying in jail longer than any of the boys. He went to Rikers as a kid, 16. Rikers. And he got transferred a couple of times because he requested. But his mom was going through hard times. She couldn't really afford to help him out while in prison. One of the times he got transferred too far away from his mom. He did find favor with some COs of some jails to kind of help him out. But court to this day, man, this brother is something else, man. One day I'm gonna see if I can get him on the show and interview him on the show, man. He's a good, loving brother. He started an organization working with Colorado University, I believe, for brothers who, if they don't have any kind of representation, he'll be able to help them out financially, get some attorneys. These guys got a settlement, I think $40 million. So you're looking at probably about 7, 8 million each, excluding attorney fees. Living in New York, there's not a lot of money, but it's better than what I got, okay? But these boys are taking their funding and enjoying their family and doing things to kind of make sure this don't happen again. Fairstein, now a popular author, has been dragged on social media since the series debuted this past weekend with the hashtag canceling the Fairstein now gained steam. Many are asking leaders, retailers like Amazon and Barnes & Noble to drop her books. Now, that would be a good idea, but I like it better. Keep her books. Let people keep buying her books, and she get and that money go to these boys and their family. She don't get a dime. She don't get a dime. She need to go to jail for her crimes. She is author of the best-selling Alexandra Cooper series of mystery novels, which are based on Fairstein's real-life experience and follows a Heron, New York prosecutor. Raymond Santana, one of them teenagers convicted and later exonerated for the crimes, says he support the boycott for Fairstein books, even if 30 years later she has to pay for her crime, he told TMZ. All right, so let me see, can I get a trailer of that movie? I want you guys to go take a look at that movie. Give me a moment. Let me see if I can come up with a trailer. And before you see the movie, take some time out and watch the Central Park 5 documentary first, and then go look at the TV series.
Is my mom here?
It's just us. You and us. Who you were in the park with?
I don't know names. I just got lost.
Where did you see the lady?
One lady.
The female jogger was severely beaten and raped.
Every black male who was in the park last night is a suspect. I need all of them.
What's going on with my son?
Your son was involved in a rape in Central Park.
No,
Wait a minute. Wait a second.
They saw you rape the lady.
I didn't see a lady or hit anyone. I didn't see any lady.
Kevin.
I didn't see any lady.
I want to see my son right now, right now.
Whatever they said I did, I didn't.
Zoning on the road.
Nothing these boys state matches the central facts of the crime. All we need is for one to tie this whole thing together.
These tapes are not as clean as the state would have you believe.
There is injustice happening here.
There is not one shred of evidence.
Imagine the frenzy of these teenagers.
Ripping off her
They
clothes.
are innocent of these
They
crimes.
are guilty.
Why they doing us like this?
What other way they ever do us?
And I haven't looked back
I've been having these dreams.
since I met
I keep hearing these footsteps, and they coming closer and closer. That's me coming to bring you home.
They said if I went along with it, that I could go home, and that's all I wanted.
The police will do anything. Lie on us, they will lock us up, they will kill us.
This is my life.
I don't think we should admit to something that we didn't do.
Okay, we keep fighting.
Well, there you go. I'm telling you, it is a riveting story, and everybody should take a look at the movie. And I want everybody to hashtag the same thing about Linda Farstein, and put in the comments, do you think Linda Farstein books should be taken off the shelf? Should the book stay on the shelf and all the proceeds go to those boys? And should she be prosecuted for her crimes? Now that's a no-brainer. She should be prosecuted to her crimes. What we need to do to call for her arrest for fabricating the crime. So just put your comments down at the bottom. This is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I love you guys. I'm done for the day. Peace. Hey, thank you for watching that episode of the Rob Report. Before you go now, I need you to do two things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says sometimes, you think you're subscribed, or you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at paypal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV, and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those two services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Hey, thank you for watching that episode of the Rob Report. Before you go now, I need you to do two things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says sometimes, you think you're subscribed, or you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at paypal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV, and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those two services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace.